conspiracies about what went down.
Cathy White's life was taken unfairly. She actually died screaming. And the Carters are responsible. But one of them is just a little more responsible than the other. Did Sean Carter delete his mistress, his pregnant mistress, because his wife was jealous? Pregnant
Jay-Z's,
mistress
yeah.
who died of an imaginary fucking aneurysm.
People like Jay-Z and Pusha T, they made their living our people. So how the gonna stand up for our people? You know what I'm saying? But we
Jay-Z out here allegedly sending their goons to end Jaguar Wright's life for exposing the truth about Cathy White's mysterious death. You know, the alleged pregnant mistress who suspiciously died of a supposed brain aneurysm just days before Beyonce, a Tilda copyright popped out with Blue Ivy. Oh, and did I mention she was literally scheduled to do a tell-all interview with the biggest blogger at the time, Hollywood Street King and the journalist Liz Crocken. It's giving very much she was silenced. And that's exactly why the conclusion that she died from a brain aneurysm never made sense to people. Like, how convenient is that? A lot of industry whistleblowers, including Jaguar, have been going off about this for a long time. But she recently turned up the heat, and baby, the Carters have no idea who's about to hit them. Now, just for a little context, Cathy was reportedly found dead in her home. And at the time, multiple outlets said she music died from a brain aneurysm. But people were not buying that explanation then, and a lot of them still don't buy it now. One of the first people to really music start poking holes in the story was the blogger Hollywood Street King. He was the same person who first spilled the tea about Cathy and Jay allegedly having an affair. Music, so when Cathy suddenly passed, he was already paying close attention. And according to him, he knew from the beginning that something about music, her death, wasn't sitting right. Why? Because he claimed Cathy had contacted him just days before she died saying she music felt like her life was in danger. Now, that is a huge detail because if somebody tells you they're scared for their life and then suddenly turns up dead days later from a brain aneurysm, of course people are going to start asking questions. And guess what? He wasn't the only one. Remember what music I said about Cathy supposedly reaching out to a journalist called Liz Crocken for an interview just before she died? Music, well, this isn't just a rumor people made up. Liz herself confirmed this herself. Would consider telling her story to me on the record, which implied to me, obviously, that if she was willing to tell her story about Jay-Z, that it was indeed true that she was having an affair with him. So that was pretty much it. That was the last time that I talked to her, and music I was, under the impression that she was very strongly considering talking to me and telling me her story music about her affair with Jay-Z. So a few days go by and I'm following up with her. I'm calling her and I can't get a hold of her, and I believe that this went on for a few days. And it was just really weird 'cause she always answered her work phone. I thought it was really strange that she wasn't answering her phone. She was MIA. I didn't know what the deal was. So I ended up reaching out to one of her colleagues. And when I finally got a hold of one of her colleagues, they told me that she's dead. And I said, well, going back to Hollywood Street King, he wasn't playing any games. He put his career on the line by deciding to look into the actual cause music of death. And since then, his career has never been the same. Not only that, once the findings of his investigation went viral, he was allegedly forced to take everything down. But one thing about the internet, nothing ever really goes away once it's posted. That article recently resurfaced again amid Jaguar's new allegations, and this is exactly what it said. Yesterday, I got the news that Cathy Michelle White had suddenly passed away. Music, so I quickly began my investigation, and guess what? Cathy did not die from a brain aneurysm, as reported widely around the internet today. according to an NYPD detective who told me Cathy's cause of death is uncertain. Music, and later today, we will have the autopsy and toxicology reports. Right now, the death is considered suspicious. Music, Cathy White died exactly 1 year to the day from when I broke the story of her and Jay-Z's affair. He added, music, a 911 call came in from an apartment on 130 West 19th Street in Manhattan. An ambulance came and took Cathy because she was sick. They took her to Beit Israel Hospital, and that's music, where she expired. It was too early to be speculating that an aneurysm got her. They will be doing an autopsy later today to check out her cause of death. But someone might have given Cathy a bad drug, so they'll do a toxicology, and we'll have to wait 2 weeks for that report. 2 weeks before her death, Cathy was contacted by a major tabloid that was investigating the Jay-Z connection. She gave them little information to go on, but according to one of our sources, following her conversation with the tabloid, she called Jay and told him that she was going to go public with their music, affair for a price. This all happened in the last 2 weeks. Then, little more than 48 hours after the announcement that Beyank A. Tilde Copyright was pregnant with Jay's baby, this young lady suddenly dies under suspicious circumstances. Anyway, this entire conspiracy got even crazier when an old video of Beyank A. Tilde Copyright S. supposed baby bump literally folded in like a piece of fabric during a TV interview in Australia. In the words of Wendy Williams, the bump literally bent and crumpled. Music, if people were having any reservations about the rumors that Beyank A. Tilde Copyright was faking her pregnancy, this incident single-handedly turned those doubts into confirmation for a lot of folks. Because what do you mean your pregnancy caved in while you were sitting? Girl, bye. Wait, I have to talk to you about this Beyank A. Tilde Copyright baby bump conspiracy, rumor fake pregnancy thing that's being alleged. I just don't even know where to start, so I'm going to take you through it step by step. Here's how the rumor got started. Beyank A. Tilde Copyright recently, like last Sunday, appeared on an Australian show. And when she sat down, the baby bump squashed, bent, and crumpled. Hold on. Laughter, as ridiculous as it sounds, you know I did my research, and we've got the video to prove hold on. So people started questioning, was this baby bump real or fake? Now, being a woman who, I had my baby bump, many of you have had baby bumps. I never remember my baby bump squad, just take a look at the video. Okay, so here's Beyank A. Tilde Copyright, and she's walking out, and everything is fine. She's 5 months pregnant. Then she sits down and okay, now we're going to rerun it until you see it. Let's do it in slow motion. You'll notice she's either giving birth to a Frisbee or Stewie from Family Guy. Look at the shape. Look, do you see? There it is, what that is B. Laughter okay, now let's bring it back and freeze it. Yeah, oh yeah, we're analyzing. There it is. What is that? Is that a baby bump? I don't know, I was on bed rest the whole time. I'm not exactly sure. But I can tell you when I would get out of the bed and sit up at a kitchen table, I wouldn't be able to sit like that. Like I was so concerned about my back and the baby, even at 5 months, I sat like this, right? Well, look, Beyank A. Tilde Copyright has denied these rumors, saying that they're stupid and they're ridiculous. Beyank A. Tilde Copyright is pregnancy, is a way of keeping Jay-Z's alleged mistress away. Beyank A. Tilde Copyright is going to use a surrogate so she can maintain her body. But they're going to play it off like it's allegedly, that they gave birth. Now you remember I was the first one to say this, then you remember what I haven't said it yet. Watch, it's going to be an at-home water birth in the master bathroom. There are going to be 3 people there. Beyank A. Tilde Copyright, Jay-Z, and her mother, Ms. Tina. Watch. Now, the crazy thing about this entire Cathy situation is that Beyank A. Tilde Copyright has seemingly fueled the rumors that she may be involved in her recent projects. Music, it's like she keeps reminiscing about how she successfully got away with it. Like back in 2024, when she dropped her album Cowboy Carter. There was a song called Daughter where the lyrics directly correlated with the Cathy situation and people were quick to catch it. The lyrics of the song said, and I quote, "Your body laid out on these filthy floors. Your bee stains on my custom couture. Bathroom attendant let me right in." She was a big fan. I really tried to stay cool, but your arrogance disturbed my solitude. Now I ripped your dress and you're all black and blue. Look what you made me do. What the actual hell are these confessional-like lyrics? Bayonk A tilde copyright. Allegedly, the song Daughter on Bayonk A tilde copyright S Cowboy Carter album what it's potentially a confession about Jay-Z's mistress. Cathy White. Buckle up, on August 28, 2011, Bayonk A tilde copyright announced her pregnancy at the MTV VMAs. On January 7, 2012, Blue Ivy was born into this world. In 2016, Bayonk A tilde copyright dropped Lemonade. Now, as we all know, Lemonade was a true album about infidelity. Jay-Z was rumored to have a very long-time mistress. People knew of Cathy White because of Jay-Z, okay. So here's where it gets a little crazy. Cathy White was known to be pregnant in 2011. Shortly after giving birth, Cathy died mysteriously in her apartment of a brain aneurysm. I have a feeling this is related. Now, even though we saw Bayonk A tilde copyright S bump publicly, there's a video of Bayonk A tilde copyright sitting down for an interview, and her whole stomach just deflates in.